Hola and welcome to InformaGente, where today we will take on the truly hot topic of wildfires in California. What you can do basically for free to make yourself a little more just in case ready. I'm Bayardo De Murguia. Some of you may know me from Netflix's new series, Tiny Pretty Things, and I'm honored to be part of InformaGente and to help Latinx and all Californians be safe. For even as we all continue to contend with COVID-19, we've had to deal increasingly in California with devastating wildfire. In August 2020 alone, wildfires displaced more than 200,000 Californians and threatened and burned 1.5 million acres of land. Fire season is starting earlier and ending later. Sometimes it feels like it just doesn't stop and we're always in fire season. And we've even had red flag alerts in December last year, 2020. My guest today is someone who knows quite well what it feels like when the wildfires just won't stop.
Almost 18 years into my career as a 911 dispatcher, I worked the night of the 2017 Tubbs fire. I got called in because the 911 center was overwhelmed with call volume. I didn't leave for 18 hours. During that night, what I heard on the other end of the phone is what it sounds like when community members are not prepared for a disaster.
Joining me now on InformaGente is Alma Bowen, who turned what she learned that night and throughout her career into an organization that helps people, especially Latinx and vulnerable populations, be ready, be listos for any emergency situation. Alma, welcome and thank you for joining me.
Hello, Bayardo. I am delighted to be here today.
Share, if you will, some of the hard lessons and that you and so many people from the Tubbs fire have learned and other wildfires that have ravaged our state.
Of course, one of the biggest lessons that we've learned is that during emergencies, seconds matter and being prepared can make all the difference. So the time to prepare and do all the things that you don't even think you know that you need is during what we call blue sky days, which now we're learning in California, as you mentioned earlier. It's not what we thought anymore. We used to think that fire season would come and it was kind of an outlying time, but now what we're seeing is different disaster and emergency situations year round. So the time to prepare is now, and it will make a difference during an emergency.
So let me ask you, is there anything that I can do in advance that will matter? Like one person against a wildfire? It's scary even just saying it, but is there anything that we can do?
One of the most important things that you can do to be ready for a wildfire is to sign up for alerts. It's really important to be able to get a heads up to what's happening in your area or near you. So this is easy to do and it's free. You can just go to calalerts.org, select your county, and then sign up. And you can sign up for multiple counties. So if you work in one area and live in a different area, or if you have multiple loved ones in different counties, you can sign up for alerts in their area so that you're aware what's going on there as well.
That is just so easy. And in fact, if you're at home, just pause this video, sign up right now. It only takes a minute. And if you go ahead and do that, we promise that we'll be right here when you come back. Okay, welcome back. Congratulations to those of you who signed up. And for everyone else, you can really just sign up anytime. Some of the alerts that you get will fall into 3 categories.
That's right. Red flag days tell you when the weather may lead to extreme fire danger. Evacuation warnings indicate potential threat to life or property. If you need additional time to evacuate, if you have pets or livestock, your time to evacuate is during these evacuation warnings when they're issued. And then the third one is an evacuation order. These are issued when there is an immediate threat to life. Now, when you get an evacuation order, this means leave immediately, it's time to go.
So getting alerts is step 1 in Listos California's 5 steps to being more disaster ready for natural disasters. Step 2 would be to make a simple plan.
I know from my days as a 911 dispatcher that first responders cannot be everywhere at once. One of the hardest things for any first responder is worrying about the people they cannot reach or cannot reach immediately. Knowing that during a disaster, there just aren't enough resources to get to everybody that needs help is what kept me up worrying at night. And that's what prompted me to start the organization Nuestra Comunidad. So including your plan and emergency contact that's away or out of your area that you live and work. Because in a disaster, local phones and cell services may be jammed or they may be down or affected by the disaster. But sometimes you'll be able to text, make calls, or send emails that are out of the area. And this will help you communicate with your loved ones and let them know, hey, I'm okay, or I'm fine, and I am at the evacuation center at the elementary school.
I've also heard it's a good idea to write down on a piece of paper your family and friends' phone numbers. And I'm just so used to grabbing my phone and clicking on my directory and contacts. I know my dad's by heart, my mom's, my fiance's, but not everyone else.
Also in your plan, try 2 different ways to get out of your neighborhood or place of work or your school. Sometimes roads can be fully blocked in one direction, but will remain clear in another. So having several different ways in mind will be helpful.
And then what? What do you recommend?
Keep your plan handy on the fridge, in your car, and in what we call a go bag. It's a backpack or a bag, something that you can find in your home where you can keep essential supplies and papers that you may need when you need to just grab it and go during a disaster time.
Do I have to buy a special go bag?
No, not at all. I bet if you just look around your house or your apartment, you will find an old backpack that you're not using, or a small wheeled suitcase, or even one of those strong reusable shopping bags. You don't have to buy anything new. And don't pick a really huge bag to make into your go bag or fill it so much that you can't lift it to carry it.
So my question is, what should I put in a go bag? I'm guessing that my air fryer isn't important. So
As important as it might be for you, because my Instapot is one of my favorite things, I would not add that. However, some of the things that you should add are legal documents that you might need or that are difficult to replace, maybe a few special family photos or photos of your pet, a local map just in case online maps are down or you don't have access to internet. Put in essential medicine and list of medications, phone numbers for your doctor and pharmacy. And depending on your situation, you may want to include baby supplies or pet supplies. So everybody's go bag will look a little different. And during these times of COVID-19, 2 things that we have to remember to include are face masks, and if you have it, some hand sanitizer also.
I'm always scrambling to find my mask anytime that I leave my house. And I just can't imagine like scrambling out the door, there's a wildfire approaching, and then you're just in a rush. Yeah, that would not be good. Another question is, in this pandemic, is it safer to stay at home?
If you're told to evacuate, do so. Go. Grab your mask, grab hand sanitizer, wipes if you have them, but go. The folks that are opening and running the shelters will do everything possible to keep you safe once you get there.
What about the times we're told to shelter in place, or if we get into another lockdown? What can we do to plan for that? I'm guessing that is around step 4.
Exactly. What we recommend is in advance to build what we call a stay box. Again, nothing fancy is needed. Just find something, a box or somewhere that you can stash things that you might need if the power is out or if the water's cut. Put in some bottled water, food to last 3 days for each person in your household. Make it ready to eat food in small bags or boxes or easy to open cans. And we don't want to put anything in there that's going to need refrigeration or needs to be cooked. Also add trash bags. They can be very useful. And also in your stay box, it's important to include other items like extra flashlights and batteries or backup phone batteries. Again, more of those baby or pet supplies that we talked about for the go bag, and also include hygiene and health supplies like medication and diabetic needs.
So in other words, stuff you might have scattered around your home already, but which could be hard to find with the lights out or if you're really stressed. The last step, step 5, is a reminder that being wildfire ready is just not about things, it's about people. One thing we don't want to forget is to help your neighbors and your friends.
This is California, where our neighbors are our family.
They have our backs, and we have theirs.
We can all take small steps to stay safe.
Because knowledge is the best shelter from any storm.
And no matter where we live,
how old or young we are,
or what language we speak,
no matter how others may see us,
we're calling all people to connect, protect, and prepare.
Because we're in this together.
Listos California.
Now is our time to get ready.
In something like 90% of emergencies, a neighbor is the first person there to help.
That is correct. And we witnessed that, especially during the Tubbs fire. Neighbor were helping neighbor. So talk to your neighbors and friends before there is a fire in your neighborhood. Call them tonight or this weekend. Maybe a neighbor doesn't have a car and could use a ride to the shelter, or maybe you'll need a ride to the shelter. Maybe you can help them make a go bag or stay box. helping each other will make all the difference when an emergency does hit.
We're all in this together, after all. And in case you at home weren't taking notes, the 5 disaster ready steps are available online at listoscalifornia.org/online-course/en in English, and at listoscalifornia.org/online-course/es in Espanol. Another online booklet, the 6-page Safety Tips for Wildfire and COVID-19 Guide, has additional information on what to do when a wildfire is in your area, or when it's time to evacuate, and how to protect yourself against smoke and ash in a wildfire. That's available in English and in Spanish and a host of other languages too. So let me ask you a very important question. Shelters can be a very scary idea for many immigrants in the state, including many Latinx who worry about their immigration status. Some are reluctant to go to shelters because they're afraid that ICE will be waiting for them inside. So what do you tell people in your community who tell you that they fear ICE more than fire?
It's a fear that I hear about often, and it's a fear that I completely understand. So let me tell you this. When it comes time to get out of your house and go to a shelter, go. Don't wait. Fire does not discriminate. And know that immigration officers are not allowed to sit around and wait and scope out who's at the shelter. It's illegal here in California for them to do that. When you get to the shelter, go in. Don't sit in the parking lot in doubt, wondering if you should go in or not. Go in. Your shelter is going to be the safest place to be during a disaster.
And here's part of what California State Attorney General Xavier Becerra wrote about promoting safe and secure shelters for all. California law enforcement agencies are prohibited under state law from performing the functions of an immigration officer. Although California cannot control the actions of federal immigration authorities, federal and state laws protect shelter clients. Shelters are meant to provide a welcoming, safe environment to all with privacy, safety, and opportunity. Alma, what else should Latinos and Latinas know about wildfire shelters and readiness?
Evacuation centers these days have interpreters, translators, and bilingual aid workers who can help you when you arrive, and they can give you the supplies that you need. Also, they can help connect you with other resources that you may be looking for.
It's reassuring and very, very good to know. Thank you again, Alma Bowen, for joining me on InformaGente today.
Bayardo, it was my pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for having me.
These InformaGente conversations are being produced by 3 great organizations. Listos California, tasked by Governor Newsom to help everyone across the state prepare for natural disasters. LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, the oldest Latinx civil rights organization in the country, and the National Hispanic Foundation for the Arts, which helps build opportunities for Latinx entertainers and communities across California and the US. Welcome, Felix Sanchez, co-founder and chair of the foundation. Felix, a few seconds from you.
Thank you, Bayardo. The National Hispanic Foundation for the Arts thanks you and your colleagues for participating in these important episodes of InformaGente, which bring relevant and critical information to the Latino community, especially in California. Cindy?
Thank you, Felix. My name is Cindy Benavides, and I have the honor of serving as the Chief Executive Officer for the League of United Latin American Citizens. LULAC is the oldest and largest national Latino civil rights organization in the country, created over 92 years ago to protect and defend our Latino community. You know, today's topic, wildfires, is so important because we know that so many community members have been impacted by wildfires in California and along the entire northwest part of the country. I'm so grateful to the governor and to Listos California for being so willing to touch on an issue to make sure that our communities are prepared. Un agradecimiento, a big thank you to Alma and to Bayardo for leading this conversation. And I can't wait to see the impact that it creates in our communities. With that, I'll turn it over to you, Bayardo. Gracias.
We all invite everyone to check out other InformaGente episodes with top experts and my friends and colleagues from Hollywood's stellar Latinx entertainment community. Just search YouTube for InformaGente. And let me remind everyone that those 5 easy and free safety tips are online 24/7 at listoscalifornia.org/online-course/en in English and in Spanish, at listoscalifornia.org/online-course/ES. CAL FIRE has tons of information available too, in English at readyforwildfire.org and in Espanol at readyforwildfire.org Espanol. Thank you again. Plan ahead, stay safe, and be well. Infórmese y cuídense.